Okay, so in this video, we're going to go through how to use Blackboard Collaborate. So first thing, we're going to have to enter the same course that we've used in our first two videos. And know that we previously already added this a tool link for Blackboard Collaborate. So when we click on that, the first thing we're going to have to do is create a session. So right now, our course room is unlocked and available, meaning students can log in. But we want to create a specific session where students would log in at a specific time to join like an interactive lesson or a review session or something like an online office hour. So we click on Create Session, and first thing we have to do is give it a name, like maybe office hour or something like that. And then we create like the details of the event. So for example, maybe you want to have it during your normal class time. And so you choose on the calendar here, like the next time you have class, maybe like Tuesday morning at a specific time, like maybe 9 o'clock a.m. You can then choose a specific ending time, or if you want to have it kind of open-ended, you can say, you can choose that, no end, kind of an open session. If you want it to be something like weekly or twice a week, then instead of it having be open-ended, you have to choose a start time and an end time, and then you select when you want it to repeat. Once a week, specific days of the week, have it go for like 5 sessions, and then it stops. But you are able to make those choices about like the timing of the session. Okay. I want to make it so that we can go right into a session. So I'm going to make one for today, starting like right away. So we'll put in like, it's currently like 2:35 p.m. So we'll put that in. Okay. So now you can set it so that students can log in a little bit in advance, like 15 minutes. And there's additional things we can select as well. So when I click on the little icon for session settings here, you probably want to make it so that the students coming in are participants. If you're, on the other hand, having a meeting with other faculty members, you could make other presenters or moderators that gives them more control within the session. But for the students, probably best to keep them as participants. You can either choose to allow your participants to record or not. In the chat function of the session, you can have them anonymous or not. And here are some of the things you definitely probably want to control. If you're going to have a pretty big session, you probably might want to have everybody not able to share their audio, because if something like 40 microphones are all going at once, you end up with a lot of feedback. But if you think it's going to be a smaller class session, or it's more like an online office hour where a smaller number of people join in, then you might choose to have them share their audio, like so able to verbally talk to the group, as well as sharing their videos. But again, if you're worried about what students might say or how students might be, dressed, etc., you can make it so the students don't have to worry about what they say or how they appear by turning off the audio and video. In that case, if you keep on the chat function, students or participants can simply type in their comments or questions rather than verbally or video being able to see it, but you can again select that accordingly. Okay, so now let's go ahead though and kind of enter a session so we get to see what that looks like. So we do that by clicking Join Session. So by clicking Join Session, it'll open the session, and clearly I'm entering the session as myself. And what we'll notice right off the bat is that across the bottom here are things that allow me to activate my microphone and my video, my camera, etc. So sure enough, if I want to be able to speak to the students in my session, I have to activate the microphone. And if I want them to see me, I have to be able to share my camera. And so we can see that as I'm recording this, I can, go ahead and share my video, which is now in my little bottom left-hand corner here. During the session, if I or a student or any other participant wants to get everybody's attention without saying anything, we can simply do so by clicking the little raised hand, and others in the session would see that you are trying to get everyone's attention. In addition, we can see that there's a little area here in the top left, and when I click on that, it expands. Now, if I think to myself that maybe some of my students can't come into these sessions during normal class time because their schedules have been quite upended, what I could then choose to do is record the session, and then students could log into Blackboard and watch previously recorded sessions. If my laptop's microphone were not working, I have the option of clicking here, and I could use my telephone as my audio connection. I simply type in the number, call, type in the PIN, then put my phone like on speakerphone, and all audio now, both what I hear and what I say, is going through my phone instead of the laptop. So it's a good option if your computer is giving you some issues. Okay. In addition, we can notice that down to the bottom right, there's this little purple icon thing right here. When I click on that, that gives me more ways of like kind of controlling the session. So for example, if I wanted to view who's in the session, I click right here on attendees, and we can see that it lists me as the moderator. And if this was a real class session or meeting, we would see a list of additional participants. There's then this little icon here for chat. When I click on that, I can make it so that I can chat with the group. For example, I'll go ahead and say hello. And so if you had, say, turned off your students' microphones, this would be, for example, their only way of communicating to the group, by typing in their comments or their questions. Another great thing to do is to share content, like this little icon here shows. So when I click on that, what I'm able to do is now do something like share a blank whiteboard. If I wanted to do a quick drawing of something, say, anatomical, I could click the Share Whiteboard, a white screen pops up, and now I use the various tools to do drawings, and students would be able to see that in real time. This little thing here that says Stop Sharing switches it back to like the normal, video feed of like the participants and moderator in the session. Another cool feature is to be able to share files. So let's say, for example, you wanted to have kind of an online discussion of a specific chapter you're going to go over. You simply choose, let's say, like a set of PowerPoint slides that you want to go over. You upload them. It often will take, maybe a few seconds or so to kind of convert the PowerPoint file or whatever file it is you're sharing into an easily shareable form in the session. But once it is done converting the file, you simply click on the little icon down below that says Share Now, and the PowerPoint slides or PDF file or whatever it is you are trying to share becomes shareable. So we can see mine finished converting, so I can click Share Now, and next thing you know, I am able now to share with my students these PowerPoint slides on the screen. You can still see me right down here in the corner. And I'm even able to continue using the little pencil and other things here to even point at things or add drawings to my PowerPoint slides. And again, the little thing here is where I kind of default, stop sharing, go back to the original mode. One more we can do is sharing application or sharing even your full computer screen. For example, what if you wanted to, during one of your sessions, go over to the internet and show your students a quick YouTube clip? Well, you could do that by doing the Share Application or Screen, and I'm going to select Share My Entire Screen by highlighting that here and clicking Share. It then changes my view to show like my window multiple times, but if I were now to go over to YouTube and click on a video, what students on their end would be seeing is like my full computer screen showing the video clip that I'm like currently playing. At that point, you could then at any moment go back to your home page here, click Stop Sharing, and it kind of goes back to the original default of, showing you everyone in the session. All right. At that point, once you get to the end of a session, you would simply close out, and if you had it recorded, you can then have it stored for students to view at a later time.